add your artwork and scroll down to the bottom and you will be given the opportunity to enter some tags. I really can't stress how important it is to think about the tags that you're putting in here. You can put up to 50 different tags, and it really is as important, if not more important, than the actual design, because you can have a really good design, but if you don't have the right tags, then nobody's going to see it. So I'll just show you how it works by going on the Redbubble homepage. And this is a search for ghost, and you can see that there's 43,884 results. So when a customer types ghost into the search bar, it will bring up everything, every person that's added an artwork on Redbubble and has typed ghost in there. So there's 43,884 results. When you're tagging, it's really important to take that into consideration, because if you've got a ghost related design, for example, you're going to be competing with almost 44,000 results. And you can narrow that down. So maybe if your ghost is cute ghost, there's only 6,698 results. Or unhappy ghost, 14 results. So you've got to really take into consideration what your design is and who it appeals to, but also what the customer is going to be searching for. So if you don't put ghost in your tag at all, then it's unlikely that that's going to come up. Just go back to the main page. Another useful thing that people don't necessarily know about is that when you click on a design, anyone's design, you can scroll right down, once it loads, to the very bottom of the page, underneath everything, and you can see exactly what tags they've used in their design. So if this is the top selling ghost design, you can have a look and find out exactly what customers are searching for. So one of these terms is really popular with customers. And the good thing about these tags is they're all hyperlinked, so you can just click them and investigate one by one. So disapproval. This isn't particularly ghost related, it could be anything, but there are a few ghost ones in there. Going back onto that. And the way that it works, the way Redbubble search works, is that you don't have to put disappointed ghost or disapproval ghost or cute ghost. As long as you put ghost in there at some point, it will tie all these keywords together. So going back to the tags, you can put ghost, unhappy. You don't have to put unhappy ghost as one particular tag. It can all be separate. So if you put spooky and someone searches for unhappy spooky or something like that, then it will come up for this, and it will also come up for when they search for unhappy ghost. So this person's design, they have got unhappy and they've got ghost. They don't have unhappy ghost together, but when we go up to the top and search for unhappy ghost, it should come up. Yeah, there you go. So going back, when you've got to this point, you're probably sick of dealing with Redbubble, because you've gone through all the different items, enabled it, selected a colour, made sure it looks right, and you probably just want to move on. And that's where most people end up coming unstuck, because they fail to tag correctly and their design doesn't get seen by anyone. So one useful thing that you can do is, if you're doing a ghost design or whatever, you can take that word, put it into Google, and just put synonym and whatever the word is. You'll be given a list of things that are related to that particular word that you've put in, and consider, are they relevant to your design? Is it something that someone's going to be searching for? If you want, you can even copy these words and put them into Redbubble to see if people are actually searching for it. Is there demand? Doppelganger, for example. We'll just go and have a look. Okay, so there's 24 results. It might be that someone's searching for that. Another thing with tags is, are they going to be putting the accent or whatever it's called on the A? Get rid of that. 24 results turns into 121 results. So that's another point that I need to mention, that I mentioned someone on the Facebook group. They were putting something to do with magic, and I realised that some people don't spell magic like that. They spell it with CK. So thinking of variations like that, it might be minor, and you might think, well, it's very rare that someone's going to spell it like that. But actually, that could get you another sale, just putting that one variation. And the fact that you've got 50 tags, that's really quite a lot. A lot of these websites give you 10 to 15 tags max, if at all. So you've really got a lot of room with Redbubble. There is a technique that people use called keyword stuffing, where they just put absolutely anything, and they'll do things like look at the top selling item, scroll down to the bottom like I showed you earlier where you can get the keywords, and just copy everything. I wouldn't recommend, this one's not a good example for that because it doesn't have a lot, but they'll just copy everything from there and put it in their own keywords, and that is a technique that could possibly work. I wouldn't recommend doing that because you're just relying on things that aren't necessarily relevant to your product, taking up tags that you could actually use for something useful, and it's frowned upon basically on Redbubble. It can get you in trouble. Another useful feature of Redbubble is that it automatically translates the descriptions and the tags into other languages. Because it is a worldwide company that ships everywhere, there's different nationalities that are searching. Their first language might not be English, so if you do know these languages, you can actually manually enter them. I never do. I always just put it in English and let that translate for me. Whether that's a good translation or not, I don't know. Once you actually submit your work and save it, it takes up to 15 minutes to actually display in the search. So if you immediately go and check under some of the keywords to see if it's showing up, it's not going to do that. So I've had a few people message me already to say that their item isn't showing up. So you need to allow time. Just wait 15 minutes and it will be on there. Another useful thing to do, which is quite quick, is just type in the item into Google, Ghost T-shirt, scroll down right to the bottom and you will see searches related to Ghost T-shirt. So you can see Ghost Halloween shirt, Halloween Ghost shirt, and when you click on these different results, it will then take you through to that page. You can go down to the bottom again and it will show you related searches to whatever the new term is that you've put in. If we go up to the very top and look at shopping, as many customers do, they'll search for a Ghost Halloween T-shirt or Ghost T-shirt, whatever, and go on shopping. It will give them a list of items that are available, and part of this, one of the brands, is Redbubble. So they can filter, and sometimes, or quite often actually, when they search for a product, Redbubble will be one of the top results on there. Redbubble also pay for a lot of ads to actually chase the customer around basically the internet. So once they've been looking at something on your Redbubble or on Redbubble in general, once they search then on Google or other websites, Redbubble ads will be popping up and following them around the internet until they hopefully buy. So if you want to appear on Google naturally without the adverts, you've got to make sure that you fill in the title and description with something relevant. So think about what the customer's going to be searching for, especially for the title, and put something relevant in there. So a good example is that I saw someone doing a V for Vendetta design earlier. This isn't the one, but it was something similar to that. This person has put the title as V for Vendetta, which is fine, but the other person had theirs as just Disobey. So although that's a fine title, is someone going to be searching for Disobey in relation to V for Vendetta? Possibly, but I think it's more likely and more relevant for Google in their search results to have V for Vendetta in the title. So they may have put something like V for Vendetta Disobey or Disobey V for Vendetta, as long as they had that somewhere in the title. And again with the description, just make sure that you've got something in there that's in relation to the item. So many people don't put a description at all. I would recommend putting something in there, but also link that back to the main keyword that you've got in the title. So the most important part is the tags. Make sure you've got something in there as well, so it's taken by Google and possibly displayed organically. But the main thing to take away from the video is do spend some time thinking about what tags that you're going to use. Look at synonyms. Look at what your customer is going to be searching for. Make sure that there is actually demand for the product that you're putting up. In an ideal world, there would be a search term with a lot of demand, loads of people are searching for it, but without many products in there. And if you can find that, that would be the perfect niche for you to get in. In the real world, it often isn't like that. So you've just got to spread your item across as many different tags as possible that are relevant to the item and hopefully the customer is going to be searching for.